Welcome, welcome, welcome. Episode 36. Hey, everybody on the panel. Andrew, Blue, Roger, Albin. Nice to see everybody. Nice to be here. I can see everyone so excited on the edge of their seats, pumped up, ready to go. I hope everyone on the panel is doing well.
I'm hanging in there. Feel like crap.
Ooh. All right. Well, look at you're feeling like crap. Blue's got a headache. Andrew's hanging on by a thread. So, all right, we'll be going up. I'll go ahead and we'll get us cranked up. Thanks for I see Patty's joined in on the side chat. Tim, Octavia, the beach, Eddie. We got our normal people over here. Thanks for joining. If you've never watched this show before, we talk about two different movies, and today's the movie is Harry Potter and the Deathly Weapons, and Dark Waters are the two movies we'll talk about. The panel will talk about it first. You are free, if you're watching on the side chat here on YouTube, you can post your comments, your thoughts. If you've watched either one of these movies, post your thoughts. I'll try to grab those and throw it in the on the show. And after we talk about both movies, then I open up the panel for anybody that would like to join. I put the URL. You can join. You can turn a camera on or not turn a camera on, as long as you have a microphone that works. That's the main thing. So, Daldum, thanks for joining us. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get cranking on these two movies. So we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Weapons and Dark Water. Which one did we want to go first on this team?
Well, let's save the good one for last and do mine first.
All right. So Harry Potter. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Weapons, which is not on IMDb, folks. So I've got a little poster here. So this is the poster of this. Roger, you want to be first or last on this? Since you picked this movie, you are allowed to choose which one you want to be on that.
Well, I'll go first, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Okay. All right.
I hadn't watched the movie before. It was my son had suggested that I watched it, and it was funny. It's Harry Potter with a few extra laughs thrown in. I won't go into the parts that I thought were funny because there's only about 4 of them, and I don't want to take them all for the rest of the panel. Yeah. So you guys can split up the funny parts around you. AUBYN and I had mentioned backstage that he had not ever watched Harry Potter before, and he said to me, "Can you imagine somebody going into this not seeing Harry Potter?" And I had thought about it. I thought it might be a good way to get people into Harry Potter, because it's basic.
Sorry.
Are you guys hearing that?
Yeah, that is me. Yeah.
Okay, because it is just basically the Harry Potter story where a guy painstakingly spent 7 years of his life digitally animating 99% of the wands out of the movie and turning them into guns. It in and of itself, it was pretty funny, and I got to take my hat off to the guys that did it, because video editing is not something that's easy to do, even when you got a lot of money. And obviously he did it at home on his home PC. So round of applause to that dude. Mm-hmm. That's about all I got to say about it. It was fun. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I did laugh out loud 2 or 3 times. So in my metric of funny movies, if I laugh out loud, I like them. So I like it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, AUBYN, who is a humongous Harry Potter fan.
Oh yeah, the biggest. You know, I gotta say that there are a lot of things about the movie made me understand Harry Potter a bit more, like the reason why he did Guns Akimbo. You know, maybe this guy who made this movie, said, "Hey, I'm making you with guns in your hand." For someone who hasn't watched Harry Potter, I, of course, like I said last week to you guys, that, oh yeah, now you're forcing me to go, get all the Harry Potter movies. Of course I did, but am I gonna watch them? I don't think so. the most I watched of them was just to make sure that they were in English and make sure that the files were okay as I skipped through them. And it's I just don't right now. It's not my cup of tea because of watching this. Uh, I just can't. I just don't like Harry Potter. I can't tell you what it is, but to go through all these movies and see all the things, all the movies that he did, I have to give him credit. But you're gonna go from all that to Guns Akimbo, you know. I thought that some people just have too much time on their hands to actually even spend the time to make this. Uh, yeah, like I said, not knowing the whole story of him, seeing this kid living under the stairs, and I'm like, oh well, he belongs there. It's Harry Potter.
Damn dog. He
You know,
was an orphan.
oh well, hey, so then they should have left him in the backyard with the, something. Uh, I don't understand because I still won't go back to the first movie and look and see. Okay, what's really on his forehead? Is it a wand up there, guys?
No, it's a
Lightning bolt.
lightning bolt.
A
Like,
lightning bolt is on his head. Okay,
That's
all right. No, I didn't know, and now you saved me from having to go back and watch it because I was intrigued to know.
what the scar was. You knew it wasn't a gun, right?
I knew it wasn't a gun, right? I thought it would have been a wand, but I said, well, how can someone really tell a wand on someone's head? The one part that I did, peeing my pants was, the Just Feels condom. That was just okay. I'm like, all right, now you got my attention.
that was like 2/3 through the movie.
Yeah. Now they had my attention.
I must have missed that bit.
it was when he had broken into the library, and then Filch comes out and says, "There's a student out of bed," and instead of holding a broken lamp, he's holding a dirty condom.
So what was it in the original movie?
It was the lamp that Harry broke.
Oh, okay, all right, and the when the other guy shot himself in the head. Okay, I thought that was pretty good.
That was funny, actually.
But that's about it for me with the movie. I think that it really actually it was a good storyline, but I just can't go back and watch it now. I don't know whether I'm too old now or something. I don't know.
This was not the way to break you into Harry Potter, because the movie is funnier knowing what it was originally, and then you can tell like how ridiculous the parts are.
Well,
like the dirty condom versus
me, So you just think about it. I'm thinking, wow, Harry Potter had a condom in his movie.
No,
no,
no, he did not.
All right.
Okay. All right. Who wants to be next? Andrew, go ahead.
I was actually thinking what Auburn said when I was watching it. I was just thinking to myself, God, this is the wrong version of Harry Potter for him to be watching for the first time. I was watching this, and although there was some funny bits in it, I was really enjoying it because I remembered how much I love Harry Potter. And then, at first, the gun scenes was it was quite funny, where they get to Diagon Alley and he's shooting the little bricks.
Yeah,
that's what he in the original. He's just tapping it with his wand, isn't he? But this one, he shoots little shots. I thought it was funny. Quirrell running in when the troll was a thingy, and originally he faints, and in this one he shoots himself in the head. I thought that was funny. I'll not say any more because I'll give Shan some of them, but I did find some of them funny at the beginning. But then, because it was just animated where there was wands in the scenes, there was a large portion of the movie where it was just a normal movie, and I was just enjoying watching it. And then it would get to the bit where he's sitting there, and then there's just random fart noises, and then a gun comes out again. And I just I got over the funniness after that after a while because I was too busy enjoying the the actual movie. And then when all the guns started coming out, I started being like, oh yeah, it's a bit silly. But I was thinking, yeah, Auburn's not gonna I was hoping that you would still give Harry Potter a chance after this.
I know eventually one day I will.
The thing is,
right now, I'm ruined right now.
Yeah, I would probably say the first movie is the weakest. It's the more kiddie-ish, and then as you go through the movies, they get more adult and the more darker and the much better. And once you get through the first one, yeah.
But just to Roger, don't it's not your fault. And I can't blame your son really because he's not on the show. So you luck out. I still like it.
I would mention that to Andrew's point, the acting of the kids gets better and better and better each and every movie. So
I didn't think the acting was that bad, believe it or not. Is there something wrong with me or?
No.
No.
It's a little over the top. They were little kids, but they got better as they went.
Kids, yeah, okay.
All right. Me?
Yep.
I liked it. I mean, I'm with Andrew and AUBYN, or more Andrew because he has actually seen it before, in that I would forget for a while that it was about the funny parts because I'd get right back into Harry Potter again and then something funny would happen, but I still laughed every time something happened. Oh my God, the friggin' Voldemort in the forest when he's chewing on the friggin' unicorn when he comes out with nunchucks. Almost lost it. I lost it. I'm like, oh my God, that is so ridiculous. And friggin' instead of Petrificus Totalis that she does to what's his name there? Neville. She shoots him in the head. I broke out laughing because it's so ridiculous when you know the movie. So I think to really appreciate this movie, you had to have seen the other one and maybe be a bit of a fan of it because then it's you kind of each of those moments then stands out even more so. Even in the beginning when Harry goes to the zoo with Dudley there and when the glass disappears, before it was just the glass disappeared, but in this Harry shoots him with a gun.
Yeah.
I laughed every time. I couldn't help it. But I did find lots of times I'd forget what it was and be watching and then in a small way that was the only drawback for me is after a period of time, kind of like Andrew, I kind of wished it was just because it kept feeling like the same gags over and over again. So it was I wish I could have just enjoyed the rest of the movie normal. But I did like it for what it was. So I thought it was pretty cool. That's it for me.
Okay. For me, I'm not a Harry Potter fan at all. I think I've watched, since Andrew's about the age of my kids watched it, and I would have to sit down and watch some of them at times. And I would suffer through them. But I've caught bits and pieces of them. Patty asks, so which Harry Potter movie would you start with if you've never watched any of these before?
The first one.
Movies before? I guess you'd have to start from the first.
You got to start
with the books.
Start with the books.
Yeah, I read the books first.
Yeah, nah.
Did you see that? What you DeBeat said, Todd?
Yeah. Maybe we should do it.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, change the guns into wands.
Yeah.
I did find because I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so and DeBeach did talk about when he was holding guns, the graphics. The guy that did the work on this, phenomenal job on the work. Now, was there graphical issues with the guns because it's doing
it was
this?
Ridiculous.
But you know what? I mean, come on now. It's not like he had the work.
That
almost made it more fun, though, how ridiculous. The hand always looked off and it was jittery.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I did enjoy when I showed that one where he's in the shop getting a wand and he tries the different guns.
Yeah.
And he gets that little Uzi at first. It's it's just shooting around. I enjoyed those parts. I enjoyed the parts where people got shot in the head. I did like that.
What's wrong with us?
I thought those were funny.
Okay,
but
sorry. Can I
Yep.
interrupt just for 1 second because I thought of my favorite part in the whole thing, and it's because it caught me off guard. And if anybody's seen the movies, you know, like it's pretty cute and pretty like kitty-ish. So the part where Harry and Hermione and Ron get caught being out of the castle by the little arsehole there, Malfoy. And then when she says, "Oh, all four of you are going to have to get detention," he's like, "Oh, did I misunderstand? You said all four of us." She's like, "Yeah, you were out there too." And he looks over at Harry, and Harry's giving him the finger. Now,
Oh, yeah.
Harry doesn't do that in the original movie. So
Oh no!
Harry Potter giving him the finger. Oh my god! And then at the very end, when Draco Malfoy thinks he's won the cup there, the house cup, then Harry looks over at him. He's giving him the finger.
Yeah.
That was my favorite, I think. Sorry, Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, there were parts like that were funny. I enjoyed it. I was very. I appreciate the work that went into it. I know how much work well, I have no idea how much work this went in to make this.
7 years of work, apparently.
A lot of work. Only thing that really bugged me about this movie was it had to be in like 480. I mean, the quality was really poor to me, like the graphics. And maybe he shrunk it down to make it like that. I don't remember the original movie being so poorly graphics. The graphics being so like when they were in the boats going there, and there's like that fog, and the fog looks all like I'm like that fog looks like he put the fog there, but he didn't. It was in the regular movie. So I think he had to compress it and scale it down to make it as small as
skills a little bit better as he went along the 7 years.
Yeah, I think, but I did enjoy. I enjoyed it for what it was, for the thought process that went into
a movie hilarious.
Yeah, the work that went into it, I'll have to give it to him. That awesome work for what he did. What was it, Nevin? Was it Neville that had it when he was dead at the end?
Yeah, with the fly on
the
his
flies
face.
crawling around him, and it's like, but yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Definitely Roger going out on a limb. This is something that you're not going to find if you're doing a search. And I want to say that Tan said that he actually found this on Real Debrid.
Yeah.
So he was able to actually get it off of Real Debrid and watch it. So it's out there. Very unique. So that's what I've got for this.
Okay, cool.
So, all right. So we will open up. Yep, we'll pull. I'll give the link out after we talk about the next movie, and we'll allow everybody to come on in, and we'll do the voting for it.
Come on in.
Yep, we'll do all that. All right. So let me share our other movie, which was.
Is there troublemaker son in the comments?
Is it what?
Is Roger's troublemaker son in the comments?
Yeah, that's my kid.
Yeah. So we got Dark Waters, which is AUBYN. This was your movie. Yeah. Would you like to be first or last?
I'll go last. This way everyone can,
right.
discuss it. Don't give away too much.
Anybody want to be first on this?
Well, I'll go. I really.
Okay.
Go. Is it me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I really enjoyed this movie. Mark Ruffalo was really good in it. The only person that I didn't like was the farmer that started it all. I thought he overacted a little bit, but the story was great. When it's a true story, I guess you don't have to come up with as much, but it really makes you hate chemical companies. It really, really does. Mm-hmm. I got a buddy that lives in Michigan, in the same town that Dow Chemical has his headquarters, and just like that town in West Virginia, his hometown is totally ran by Dow. If you say anything bad about Dow, you're going to get run out of that town. Wow. So it's amazing the kind of power chemical companies have, and pretty disgusting too, because it's in all of us now. We can't escape it. It's in us forever now. So, and that, like they said, that those long chain compounds do not ever break down. So we got them forever.
It's freaking brutal.
Yeah, brutal. brutal. But I thought the movie was awesome, and I have told other people to watch it already. So good movie, AUBYN. Good job.
Well, you were gonna pick it next time anyhow. So
No, that was the beach was going to. I
the
had
Beach Boys. Okay, I'm sorry.
I had not watched this one before. It was a
Oh,
good.
okay.
It was a
Good.
great first watch for me. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
All right.
that's about all I got to say, I guess.
All right. Blue had her hands up. Blue.
I liked it. I didn't love it. I like the story. Like, I'm glad I watched it because holy crap, man! I remember all that stuff going on with Teflon.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all that, and just the idea that it took so many years for anything to even happen. Was it like 7 years before they even got the results back from people's blood tests? It was like, wow, we need to get our shit together. Like, what's going on here? Like, that's the problem with the world today, is that it's like, we have something happening and then we leave it up to these other people on these committees and whatever. Like, I know here in Canada we have health and safety committees, we have like a million of them. Then this one will have an idea to pass it on to this one, and then this one will form a group and it'll cost $100,000 for them to test the theory, to find out 2 years later that it doesn't actually work and they need to go back to the drawing board. So there's like, hundreds of thousands of dollars gone for ridiculousness. And that's what this felt like. It was like, oh my God, somebody do something, and somebody do something now, because in all that time period that they're waiting to get these results back, more people are getting sick. What do they say? 5 different kinds of cancers they got from it. And that was like and that's not counting what's happening to fetuses and women getting sterile, and oh my God, the ridiculousness. Okay. Mark Ruffalo, I like the guy. I liked his acting better when he was younger, which is kind of weird. I did like him as the Hulk, but
yeah, I was gonna say
he made a weird Hulk through the whole movie, a kind of big lip something going on there. I don't know if that's because the original guy kind of looked like that and he was trying to, method act maybe or something
like that.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was a weird mouth thing. But Anne Hathaway annoyed the shit out of me. Acting wise, in the beginning, she was complete garbage. It was like she was doing stage acting instead of movie acting. She got a little better as it went on, but by then I had already wrote her off in the movie. A lot of people kind of bugged me in this, like acting wise. I thought the acting was mediocre at best, but I did like the story, and I did like the what you learned about this being a true story. So in other words, I'm going to be a play because I think that more people should see this. So that's me.
Okay. All right. Andrew or Roger? Roger already been.
Roger went already.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, do you want me to go or you go?
Yeah, I'll go. I haven't got a lot to say. I've probably Sean probably got across probably what I was going to say. Like Teflon, obviously I knew what it was, but I didn't know about this story. Like, I didn't have a clue at all about this story. So at first I didn't know it was a true story, and until I started to look it up, because I had to watch it in 2 parts, because I started to watch it really late, and I'm getting older now. So when it gets late, when it gets to a certain time at night, I get tired. I get really tired, and I just couldn't keep my eyes open. Not because of the movie, but just because I'm now past that. So I started watching it the next day. But before I started watching it again, I did look it up, and I realized.
Todd, stay there.
All right, hold on. All right.
Stay there, so we can talk about that after Andrew's done.
Okay.
Right, yeah. It's like fucking. I agree with Shannon about the acting. Especially Anne Hathaway. She's got this face. She's got this psychotic killer face all the time. She just looks like a nutcase. Mark Ruffalo, I thought he was pretty good. He wasn't he was a bit monotone for most of it. But I agree with Shan as well. The story was good. It was well told, and it made you really it made you come away quite disgusted at DuPont and these big money making machines that just run the country basically. And it's just horrible how politics can just override human life, and all these people are getting these deadly diseases from this chemical, and just because this company wants to make this money, which it was making millions, they were just like letting it go. They were just letting it go over the heads. So we're getting like actual scientists who knew the real effects of it were just like being paid off and stuff, and it just made you disgusted at how people can act just over some money. So, but that's what I liked about the movie, because it brought that to light, and it just like it just made you really think like it's going to be a really horrible world in health and the well-being of people across the world and in America, like in other countries. It's just not. It's not as powerful as the dollar, I guess.
It's true. Greed's going to kill us all.
Yep.
Yeah, I would recommend it though. It's a nice story. I just like Shan said, the acting wasn't like top notch. It was just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't got much more to say, I don't think.
Okay, just a quick little side note, that Todd, that picture that you're showing right now, that's the real people, eh? At the very end of the movie, they in the church showed the real people, which I thought was neat. They showed the guy and his wife, and they showed these guys, and
And then there was the when they were at that party. This was the real Jim Tennant.
Yeah.
They showed like at the end there. That's when they showed all this stuff.
Wilbur's
it was
brother,
pretty cool, actually.
No, at the party, the actual guy who he plays was at the party with his wife.
I was like looking to see if there was. I was seeing if that was. Oh, here it is. That's him.
Yeah, there. That's him and his wife.
Yeah.
What do you think they were saying at each other? You suck playing me, bitch.
He's like, I can't believe I'm the Hulk.
Look at his wife.
She's like, look at that bitch you got to play me. Looking crazy.
I don't know. I think Anne was on point with this. I'm looking at her. I think Anne was on point.
Or is that her doing an impression of Anne Hathaway doing an impression of her?
Yeah,
I think so. So yeah.
Just like, do I really do this all the time?
You do. I was watching you. Oh yeah. It was. I did like that. I did like that part. This movie. And here's Bucky. Which he was like he was in the movie, or they talk about him because he was born with facial defects that was linked to this. I'll be honest, I was dog tired. I had worked all that night, and I was watching this movie, and I had to get to the end of it. The acting, as everybody says, I'll have to say was okay. The acting was okay, but the story was worth trudging through the acting.
I agree.
The story, knowing what's going on. It's scary. Here I'm drinking water, and you know what my thought is? What's in this water I don't know about? I mean, it's scary, scary, scary stuff. And there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, that's the thing about it. And that what's out there, you have no idea that you're ingesting it, and it could be just a small amount.
but the flu shot causes autism. Can't be. It has nothing to do with the chemicals they're putting in us.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Blue and I have talked about autisms and all these things that people. Well, that's because we've been vaccinating people, and we've talked about that. Like, well, do you think that's we've had that discussion?
Could it be what we ingest?
It could part of that could be from any of these type of chemicals. You don't know. And what's scary is that now this is one story that we know about. What about the other stories we don't know about?
Exactly.
Like they talked about Flint, Michigan and their water and all these other places.
I can't believe that's still going on.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't the States, why aren't you fixing this?
How can you fix it? How can you fix the water table? It's the water table. That's not
I thought
the
it
water.
was the piping. There was problems with their pipes. They need new pipes.
No,
they need new.
I think it's the water table that's the issue. And
well, then
again,
find them a new source. Like
if something leaks into the water table, you're SOL.
There's a good documentary on Netflix about Flint Town.
Yeah, Flint Town. Yeah,
brutal.
So I mean, it was. I'm. What the thing, Octavia? We talk about bottled water. If people don't know, most of the time, bottled water comes from a town near you. They just bottle it in like Coca-Cola.
Not from a beautiful waterfall.
No, they bottle the water from a town. Like people think, oh, I'm getting this bottled water from the grocery store. It's going to be safe. And no, it's probably be bottled in your town or the next town over from the
just with a label on it that looks
they put in the water. Now maybe they distill it. That's possible. But all in all, I think that the story was worth watching. Scary.
Yeah.
And it is sad how Blue did talk about how corporations can bury something and make it so hard for people to try to get the answers. And
all for this.
Yeah, this guy was so determined that he wasn't willing to give it up. And you looked at the large scale when some of those where they drank, where those cows drank from the creek, and they were completely whacked. I mean, just their teeth and it makes me, when they talk about the black teeth, when they were talking about the black teeth, that was one of the things, the discoloration from one of the side effects. I think of where you see certain areas in our country where people have really, really, really bad dental hygiene. Like their teeth are just really, really bad. And it's not just one person or two people where you could say, they don't go to the dentist or that genetics, but like towns of people. It makes you think, wait a minute, maybe that's not just those people. Maybe there's something going on that's dumped in the water or in the air there.
Or maybe they're all just crackheads.
Because it's scary. When I used to drive to Pennsylvania, I don't know what one is in. It might have been DuPont, because I remember going to Pennsylvania. You're going up, or it might have when I was going to Michigan. It might have been in West Virginia, where that plant is humongous. You're driving past it. I think when I'm going headed to Ohio, I think I've passed it, and I didn't know what it was. It's like off on the distance, but it is just humongous and all lit up, and it's scary. But I'm glad I watched it. Makes you think. But there's nothing. What can you do?
Yeah.
All right. So I take note to. I'll be looking at those cows' teeth. Well, I don't see their teeth. So that's what.
No, you don't get to see the teeth.
Nah, I'm not seeing no teeth. When I get them, I ain't seeing that. So, all right. Well, that's what I have.
Okay.
Let's see. Then now it's Albyn's turn.
Yeah. I've always liked this movie. It's been on my list for some time, and I'm glad I pulled it out. Sorry, The Beach. So many things. When I watched all those cows dying, I lost my mind, because to me that's like, I'm a meatosaurus. I love steaks, and to see all that wasted meat go, that was just too much for me. I love me a good steak, and see all those graves. I was just like, oh, this ain't right. This ain't right. I like when his boss Tim Robbins told him good luck in Washington when he was going to go off there. It was like, his boss is really really for it with him, and then to see him get sick the way he did, and his boss really was really trying to help him, but he wasn't making no money for the firm, and so I understood his how he was how he had to wanted to cut back his hours and all, but it was a shame watching this guy go through that, and as Todd was saying about with DuPont, I think back in the movie when when they start testing everyone, and that woman gets there with her kids and her husband, and they say, oh yeah, they got like 3 kids, and they're gonna make like what was it, like $600 or $700 to get tested, you know.
It's 2000 for the whole family.
Yeah, and she's just like, DuPont's good people,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like some people just, you know, they just don't, you know, you see all your neighbors and everyone getting sick, don't you know? Are you that, you know,
brainwashed?
Yeah, brainwashed. That
you know what, AUBYN? It's a bad time right now to be talking about whether or not people can be easily brainwashed when you see all this QAnon crap going on.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
True. But you know, I liked when he saw Bucky at the gas station towards the end there.
I only had one issue with that part, and it was like so he's pumping his gas, and then Bucky comes over to ask him if he knows the score of the game, and he's staring at him. So I'm sure Bucky's probably used to it because of the way he looks.
Right.
But you know he's not staring at him because of the way he looks. You know, he's staring at him because he's talked about this guy his entire time he's been fighting against this, but he looks like he's never met him.
Right.
So, but I mean, poor Bucky walking away probably going,
I know,
dude, you know,
motherfucker was staring at me.
Yeah.
Yep. There's one thing. I really like. I really, you know, wish more people could watch, you know, something like this. I know the movie was only from 2019, but you know, it'll too late for it to get any awards or anything now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I you know, I liked it. Yeah. Otherwise, you know, it's just a shame. It hurts me to know that, you know, we're you know, we got all this crap in our bodies. You know, thank God I have you know, a whole house filter on my house, so I don't really worry too much about my you know, my water too much. Because I change that filter often. Because sometimes when you look at it, you're like, "Holy crap, that's in the water," you know.
I don't think that's going to save us because
It's not going to save us. No.
The cows and the pigs and the sheep and the chickens all drink that shit, and we eat all that shit. So
I know.
We're screwed.
That's why I stick to steaks mostly. Oh boy, I love a good steak. Although on the side note, Todd, remind me, I have to tell you something about steaks later.
Okay. Now you're gonna tell me something about some steak. Okay.
Yeah. No, I went someplace. We gotta talk.
Do you know what my name is? Come on now.
I know. That's why I need to talk here. All right, but that's it for me. Okay. I'm glad the movie opened up a lot of eyes. You know, let your friends know. Watch it, you know.
Hey, Eddie, thanks for joining us.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey.
Evening.
Okay, which one should I start off with? Harry Potter? Okay, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I've never seen, well, I've seen little bits of Harry Potter's movies. Like this movie, I try to watch it all the way through, but I think I missed maybe the last 35 or 40 minutes of it because I was in a detention. So what I liked about it is because, you know, everything was going good, but every time you seen he pulls out a gun, well, you know, it like takes me out of context of the movie. So every time I was watching the movie, I was always like waiting for something else to happen. You know, like when the guy comes out and he pulls out the gun and he just shoots him right in the head. Boom! He's on the floor and you see the blood coming out. Oh, holy shit! Wait a minute. But for a movie, I'd recommend it. But like I said, I'm not really into Harry Potter. So, like, you know, a lot of people are saying you gotta watch Harry Potter from the beginning. The beginning is the starter movies he had at the beginning.
That was
the only thing that Martin,
this was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The only other thing that really interests me was when you were in the station, in the train station. reminds me of a station that I was in Manchester, at the Victoria Station. That interested me there. And there was another one where they go into the dining hall, and all the tables is like a picnic, extended picnic table all the way down. Okay. Well, there's a school where my sister-in-law used to work. She was the head, like maitre d' to make all the meals for the kids in the school. And she took me on a visit. Well, once I was in England, and she took me to the school, and she took me around, and she took me into this hall, and it resembles exactly the same hall that was in the movie. But besides that, it's a so-so. Dark Waters. I love this movie because I've been in a lot of places where you see a lot of pollution. Let's say gold mines, pulp and paper mills, and things like that. And not only that, I've seen a documentary not too long ago about another situation that's happening in Louisiana. I think it's in reverse Louisiana, where people are come down with cancer, and they have to work in the environment that this plant is extruding all this pollution. And there was another one in Michigan. I think it was in northern Michigan, where they had to close down the whole town because they were dumping polluted material, and people had their houses building on it, and it was coming into the house, and everybody was coming down with cancer. So this movie I would highly recommend, and it should be. They should make more movies like this to make people wake up a little bit, because, like Todd was saying, what's in a bottle of water? Okay, I heard some rumors that you're getting particulates of plastic in bottled water. Let's say if you take a gallon or a 4-liter bottle of water, you let it stand, and you just analyze the bottom of it, you'll find particulates. They call them plastic particulates. They're in the water. So you're drinking, if you drink it all the way out, until you empty the bottle all to the end, you're drinking all these particulates. If you shake it up, you mix it up, but eventually they'll settle out again. So
never finish a bottle of water.
No, never. So this movie I highly recommend it. I really loved it. The acting, like everybody said, was so-so, but it's a movie that impressed me a lot because I've seen a lot of pollution, and another thing, like you're saying, Todd was saying, bottled water be coming from the next town, while maybe the water that I'm getting comes from my neighbor's house. I don't know, but anyway, I highly recommend this movie. Love it.
I don't drink bottled water. Not normally. No. We're lucky here that our water's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you an example. Where I live, we have lakes all over. Okay, and there's one. We have 3 beaches on one lake, and one lake says sometimes they close the lake down because of the pollution. Now wait a minute. One day it's polluted, the next day it's not polluted. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. You got all these cottages all around it. Where do you think the septic tanks are going? Into the lake. Okay, I'm finished.
The beach, welcome.
What's happening? Harry Potter, Roger, I loved it just because I've got a sick sense of humor. And mention all the bits. The ones that really struck me funny was Blue mentioned it when Hermione shot Neville when they're sneaking out, but when she shoots him in the head and the gun does a twirl, she spins the gun real quick, puts it down. I mean, that was great. Then during the Quidditch match where they shoot the goalie, that was great. Shooting the devil's snare, and like you said, Neville's corpse at the end with the fly climbing on them. And then at the very end, when Hagrid gives them the family album, and he opens it up and has a girl in a blonde in a bikini shooting a machine gun.
That was funny too.
So, I mean, you guys mentioned all the other parts. I mean, yeah, I like the Harry Potter movies, and this just is a sick twist on it, and so I enjoyed it. Dark Waters, like I said, it was going to be one of my picks. And I mean, it was like after I watched this, I went and looked at every Teflon pan I had in the house, and I'm like, okay, we're going to start using the cast iron. These go down on the bottom shelf. I mean, at this point, it's already in our systems anyways, so the damage has been done. But I mean, I found it really relatable on the legal side of it. After spending 5 years of my life going through a medical malpractice lawsuit, so I found it really relatable to what the characters in the movie were going through. And I mean, the people up there, being originally from West Virginia, you know, everyone worked in a coal mine. You worked in a steel mill. You worked in the coal mine, you get black lung, you died. You work in the steel mill, you got asbestosis from working in there. But those were good paying jobs, and people were happy. They knew that's the price you got to pay. That's just, you know, you got to pay the devil's due. And same with down at DuPont. A cousin who had a farm for years, he would take the waste from the steel mills and they would bury the 55-gallon drums on his farm. Well, then 15 years later, the EPA rules all that stuff that was buried on his farm was toxic waste. He got fined hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had to dig it all back up. So, but I mean, the story of the movie is great. And like I said, when it comes, justice isn't blind. It's just whoever has the most money wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end, they end up, 70-some thousand cases, and they settle for $654 million when that wasn't even 1 year's worth of profits that they made on Teflon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me is a good movie. The message of the movie. So
why is there still Teflon out there though? Like why?
Because they make so much money on it.
No, but I mean, so I'm not buying that shit anymore.
Well, they're starting to ban it. That's why you see now, I forget.
The silver stone and
it's the copper, steel, and all that stuff. So that's why you don't see. But I mean, think back, you know, the last time years ago when you went to buy like a living room sofa or something, it's got Scotch Guard, you know, or you got a new car. There's, the seats are Scotch Guard. Okay. Well, now we all know that's all freaking Teflon and crap, you know?
What about Pam? You know, the spray Pam, where you spray on your pan when you want to cook eggs or something like that.
Vegetable oil, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
and vegetable oil is like crap as well, though.
And so, yeah, I give them both plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about with they talk about I think that DuPont's argument was you need to prove that the levels that people are going to get sick, which is so hard to prove.
No, but they did though.
Well, yeah, they were able to prove it over a long period of time, but I think that still DuPont's, if you're exposed to large amounts of it, or and so DuPont's thing is, well, you can only be exposed to this percentage is okay, because I thought remember when they did that first. The problem was
they altered that. Hey, do you know? In the court case, they altered it like the day before she went to court.
Yeah, and then they had who was on this? Well, this scientist, and then an observer from DuPont. What? That's So it is weird, and I wanted to know the one question I had, and so he was working on that case alone. That was the only case he was working on.
Decades.
What was it? 15, 20 years he worked on that case.
Yeah.
And I know they were cutting back his hours. Okay, fine. But that's the only case. So it's like, so basically he was just, that law firm was just paying him, and he wasn't bringing in nothing.
But then if he got 10% of that, right?
Well,
you got some money from the first farmer case. That one went to court and they ended up getting a settlement.
Yeah.
The very first one. So that case brought in money to the firm.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so-
the 650, the law firm gets at least a third of that right off the top before
Yep.
anything. So
Oh, trust me, they ain't gonna lose their share
No.
one bit.
No way.
no,
Anybody
it
else in line?
Well, it amazed me when they had the mediation and there was an agreement on the mediation. And how do you break the agreement when you agreed in a mediation? I mean, to me,
That's
I'm
the thing
thinking,
is they should have been sued for that.
how can you break that? It's
what
like,
they got
Because they
have
they
so
can
much
do
money.
whatever they want.
Yeah, so much money, so much lawyers. He who has the money makes the rules.
Well, and this self-regulating bullshit. What's that all about? I'm sorry, but I mean, we can't here in Canada. We can't have. There's the drink they have in Scotland that they drink whenever they're hungover. Andrew, do you know what the name of that is again?
Is it Iron Brew?
Iron Brew, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, we
Oh,
can't
I
get
don't
that
know
in
what that
Canada
is.
because our regulations will not let that into our country. And meanwhile, it's a pop. It's a kind of pop.
Wow.
But meanwhile, you can make Teflon and kill people, and that's okay. But
Yeah.
pop's
Because it
regulated,
makes-
but that isn't. It makes zero sense to me. Like, why have an FDA? What's the point then?
It's one of the flaws of capitalism.
Yeah, they need to fix that and tax the rich, for Christ's sakes.
Well, I mean, you want to watch something? Go if you have never seen the documentary. Go look at the documentary. It's called Gasland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's about fracking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, bad.
That's an eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're ruining the world for money, and it's awful.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe some people don't care because they're older. But if you have kids or grandkids, then you should give a shit.
well, and yeah, and you're hurting yourself. And the thing about it, there's so many of these things that, like I said earlier, you have no idea what effects this has in you or your kids or something. You know, it's like, it doesn't kill you right now, so then it can't be that bad. Well,
Yeah.
no, it builds up over time and it could kill me, or
Well, I mean,
or passes on to my kid.
I don't want to get the vaccine because I don't know what the long-term effects are, but I'm going to keep on using Teflon.
Yeah.
Cook me up some eggs. I'm getting ready to cook me some eggs, and I got Teflon pan in there.
Oh my
I'll be like,
God.
this is for Blue right here.
We're so screwed up. Like, I mean, when people, it cracks me up when people fight for corporations not to get taxed. And it's like, they used to. And that wasn't that long ago that they used to have to pay tax. And then every time Republicans get in, it got lesser and lesser, and now they don't pay barely anything. And free healthcare, you could have free healthcare right now, just based on that alone. So what do we do about it? Rise up?
Well, we need to get our priorities straight in the U.S., and that's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Lou.
Well, the thing with the free healthcare in the U.S. that goes way back. They wanted to do that early, like when the UK adopted it. But what happened is, healthcare was a major bargaining chip for unions, and that's why the unions felt that they could control the more people in the unions by having healthcare separate and not paid by a government.
Which is stupid.
So,
well, it's technically it's paid by the government, but it isn't, right? I mean, it's not like they're paying it; we're paying it. Like here in Canada, money from our check.
You're paying it back.
Yeah,
you need to spend a little less on militaries and a little more on your people.
Yep.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
But I mean, what a waste! Like, think about it. You guys make all these nice tanks and all these nice planes, and you don't actually use them anywhere. You just crash them, pilot error, and there goes $1 billion. Or you drive one of your boats into the side of something, and there goes $14 billion for nothing. Because we're not.
They look good though.
I mean, I get that you want to be the powerhouse of the world, but at the same time,
That's what we are.
Get into a serious world war, it's just going to be nukes. There ain't going to be no ground forces. There ain't going to be. We're all just going to blow this shit up, and then we're done like dinner.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, if we go into wars, the wars we've been in, the nukes have been around a long time, and there is yet to anybody shoot those off because they know it's an end game.
Thank God Trump's out, man, because that could have happened then. He's
I mean,
nuts.
end game
I'll
is
give you
out.
an example. Well, Todd, you watch Gold Rush, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I've worked in a lot of gold mines. Okay, and one of the gold mines that I worked in was they call it leaching. Okay.
Yeah.
What they do, they spread the like the mineral where it's coming from. They just lay it out, and they pour cyanide on it, okay? And then they put water on it to activate the cyanide. But the water, after the cyanide goes out, it goes back into the river. And they say that, the quantity of water that's in the river and the quantity of cyanide, it dilutes itself. Jesus. Yeah, but they're out in the boonies. They're never downtown, but that water's going somewhere, and somebody else down the line is picking it up.
Well, and the thing is, that's fine and dandy to say that when you do it once, but now you're doing it all day, every day, pouring it back into the river. Eventually, there's going to be more and more and more of it in there.
More.
Well, I live. One of the things I live, in this part of the country was textiles. Okay, textile mills up and down the rivers, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, textile mills were always right beside the river. And there was a reason they were always right beside the river.
Yeah.
And the towns still dump their sewage, like certain towns. I remember Blue when I go to Swepsonville, the town of Graham can discharge their sewage into the river right there and I'm thinking, okay, so that's one town. And you multiply that along the river in different towns, all doing that. And where does that water go? And it's like, oh yeah, we're just putting a little bit in there. Okay, you are. Or what about the town 20 miles down the road that does that? And then somebody else does it, so that stuff goes, stuff happens all the time. It's like, we're all short. We're so short-sighted in what we do.
I mean, in the Middle Ages, they figured out that you couldn't pee in the river upstream and not have an effect downstream. They figured that out in the 1400s.
Yeah.
Unless you like drinking salty water.
Yeah.
Ooh, look, lemonade.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, so let's
right. Okay. So let's go. We're going to go ahead. We'll start with Harry Potter for Player Pass. And I think that one of the things that we talked about this, would you suggest this to somebody else? I think that's a good way, because sometimes people are like, well, so would you suggest these movies? So when you pick Player Pass, would you suggest someone else to watch?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, to help give you that bar. Would I give it a Player Pass? So people in the side chat, go ahead and for Harry Potter Player Pass, and I'll jump through the panel. The Beach Player Pass on Harry Potter and the Deathly Weapons.
Give it a play. I've already sent it to 3 people.
All right, Blue.
I'm a play but only if you've seen Harry Potter before. Otherwise, it doesn't have the same punch. Like it's when you know what the original is, and then you see this, it's like it's funnier. I find.
Roger.
Well, I'm going to be a play for it, and I agree with Blue. I think it's more funny having known the original material.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a first watch, but I would recommend it.
Yeah, that reminds me, I probably need to send this to my son, because my son and daughter,
Tyler would probably get a kick out of it.
Yeah, Tyler would probably like it. Yeah,
Rachel maybe not so much.
He's got a very dark sense of humor. Eddie.
I'd give it a soft play.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I'm not into Harry Potter.
All right. What about you, Andrew?
That's it.
I'm the same as Roger and Sean. If you haven't seen it, it's a pass. If you have seen it, if you have seen Harry Potter, then obviously it's a play, because there's some funny bits in it, it's totally takes you off guard with some of the stuff that they changed.
AUBYN?
I think I'm a pass, because I haven't seen it before, and I can't stand Harry Potter. But I am.
How can you not stand Harry Potter when you've never seen Harry Potter? You can't say that. You cannot say that. You've got to watch it.
I don't like broccoli.
Before you say you don't like it.
All right. I understand that. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make up a copies of this movie on DVD and send it out to all the schools, and it's gonna say Harry Potter on it.
Oh my
God! So
God.
maybe they'll show it to all the kids in the school.
What not to do? Don't pull a gun on a classmate when you're sneaking out.
Yeah.
Don't leave your condom in the library.
Right. That's gonna be my thing for this movie. But unfortunately, it's a pass for me.
Okay, no problem. I was looking through. Patty D gives it a play. I need to see the others first. So,
And it's also in Telegram.
okay,
I
and
voted.
yes, and you can vote in Telegram. Um, I am a. I guess I'm going to give it a play.
You're going to recommend it to your kid, so that would
just for the uniqueness, and I did like that it was just wrong. There were so many parts of that's just wrong. But
I am going to recommend it to a lot of people that I know who are,
Harry Potter fans.
Harry Potter fans.
I'm gonna put that on my Facebook today. I'm gonna put it.
Yeah.
AUBYN, I think you should watch the other ones, like the normal ones.
Yeah.
Like start at 2.
I tell you what. If you watch Scarface,
it doesn't matter then. It doesn't matter.
At least 2 Harry Potter.
Never mind.
Okay.
Forget it.
All right.
Forget I said it.
Just somebody's next pick be the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah. I was thinking that.
Then it will be, and the other one will be Scarface.
So all right,
they're gonna hit you with it at some point. I know it.
Oh yeah.
We got so many picks. I was talking to Blue today. I got so many movies that it's hard to pick sometimes.
Yeah, thank God he's running out of Matthew McConaughey's.
Yeah, I'm pulling back. I still got a couple that's going to be in my arsenal, but I'm backing off of them for a little bit. So Dark Water, we're gonna vote on Dark Water. So again, it's side chat. If you guys would want to say play or pass, would you recommend this for other people to watch it? The Beach, what did you think? Play or pass on Dark Waters?
Play. AUBYN pick stealing pick play.
Yeah. He picked a good one there. All right, Blue.
See, I was going to give everybody Bitcoin if they gave it a pass, AUBYN. I was going to do that. So everybody who's gave Dark Water a pass, I would send them Bitcoin. But kindness of my heart, I changed my mind.
Dang, I'll take some Bitcoin. I'll vote against it for some bits.
Went up again today too.
Let's see, Blue. Play or pass for Dark Waters?
I wasn't crazy about the acting, but as far as the content, it's a play. I recommend people watch it. I'm never using Teflon again. I'll tell you that.
I think it's a play. Not enough. Anne Hathaway's character was horrible in it, but I love Anne Hathaway, so it's a play.
Roger,
yes.
Did you ever see? There's a series on Netflix, and it's all little love stories. There's like 7 episodes, and each episode is a different people. Like it's not a continuation story.
Nope.
Like one of them, the first one is the love of her life is the guy who works in her building, her elevator guy. But it's not a romance love; it's a fatherly love. And then in the next one, and Anne Hathaway plays somebody with oh my God, what do you call that when they're
Alzheimer's?
Up and down.
Schizophrenic?
Bipolar. She plays a bipolar person. She's phenomenal in it. Phenomenal.
She's one of my guilty pleasures. I mean,
Batwoman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Catwoman.
Catwoman. Just anybody with a big toothy smile and big doughy eyes, they got me on the kid. So.
I think I said to Blue, I think it's them big doughy eyes bug me. They bug me. Bug me.
Julia Roberts, no.
Big. You like big mouths.
I pass on both of them.
A lot of guys are butt guys or boob guys. I'm a big smile guy. So.
So you gave this a play, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Eddie, play or pass?
I'd give it a play.
Nice. All right. Andrew?
Yeah, I give it a play as well.
Mr. AUBYN.
A play.
Play. And I'm going to give it a play. It's a to me, as everyone said about the acting, may not be top notch, but the story, content, the true story, whew, something to watch, something to make you go, So, and as I was looking, I'm looking through, I saw Patty said play, so I think that we're pretty much on that. So, definitely suggest that. So, and and I'm going to suggest the Harry Potter movie for some of my Facebook friends. So, and then you guys are on my Facebook anyway, so you guys can say, yeah, watch it. So, all right. So, who is next week, my dear? Who
It is. Oh, it's you and me.
Oh.
The beach is at 3, and Eddie's at 1, and Roger's at 0. That sound right?
I don't know. It's
I
been
know
a
it's
while
right.
since
I know it's right for me.
And Roger or Eddie was Eddie last week? That's why
Last
he's
week. Mine was last week.
Yeah. And the beach, were you week before that?
I don't know. I know this is my third time. Yeah. So
Yeah, you're 3. So after next week, you'll be 4. Oh shit, I'm not ready. Okay, hold on.
So who is it next week?
Me and Todd.
Michael McConaughey.
Okay, I have a feeling that Eddie and AUBYN might possibly like my pick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if you say it's the movie coming out this Friday, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, it's not. It's old.
Which one? Did it come out this last week?
No, not mine. Mine's old. Todd, you go first. It's a Matthew McConaughey movie. I'm gonna reach through and.
Nope, not going with that. Hold on a second. No.
I'm ready for mud, Todd. I'll take mud.
I was thinking mud. I was thinking
Jesus.
mud. Nope, not going mud.
I said, please don't pick Sahara. That was a worst movie.
I'm actually gonna go with a movie that was suggested from one of my coworkers.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with Forrest.
Oh, Dogma. Yeah.
Dogma.
I love Kevin Smith. He's my favorite actor.
I haven't seen this in a long time.
Oh.
And if you look through some of the actors that are in this, this is chock full of big actors.
Oh, yeah.
I saw this when it came out in 1999, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, me neither.
And I thought, you know what? I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, I do remember that.
It's fantastic.
And there is a lot of trivia, and I want to say Forrest was telling me that it was banned, and they tried to bury this movie, and
yeah, because of the religious stuff in it.
Yeah, it has a lot, and he said that there was some. He said, so I'm going to look up and see what some of the stuff that was why it was banned, and that kind of gets some of that stuff like that. But Dogma is what my choice is going to be for the week.
I got in a huge argument over this movie with my, at the time, mother-in-law. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a fight. That was something else.
Well, see, obviously, and yeah, maybe we'll all have some religious talks about this, and when actors comes, and we talk about it next week. Like I said, let's see. Zachary says Dogma's no longer available on print before streaming deal. The rights were in Weinstein Brothers. Okay. So yeah, because I want to say that he was saying that they tried to bury it and did not want it to be out there.
Yeah, it's too bad. I've seen it a pile of times. Is there anything good out this week? Like maybe should I hold off till next week, and maybe we can pick if there's a new movie
coming to America.
Coming to America too.
Damn it!
Yeah, but is that actually going to be? Are we going to actually have a copy of it?
Friday.
Yeah, it's coming out on
Amazon Prime.
Okay, well, can I postpone mine till next week? And
well, it comes out Friday.
Yeah, but
like in 2 days.
Yeah, so like why don't we choose that as our second movie then? We'll do a newbie and you. And I'll have my personal pick next week.
2 weeks in a freaking row. Somebody's picked the movie. That was gonna be my next pick. That's why I said this.
Look at Patty says Tom and Jerry's out.
Yeah.
No, we're not watching Tom and Jerry.
No.
Okay, so are we going to do Coming to America?
I don't care.
I'm going to watch it regardless.
Okay, so let's do that one then.
Yours.
How about the United States versus Billie Holiday?
No.
It got panned. It got panned so bad.
All right, so are we good? So is that going to be your pick?
To America. Yes. Yeah. That's not my pick. It's just we're picking a new one.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm
going
confused.
next week.
So this is just picked because
This is
It's
a
just
random, yes, because it's new.
it's new. Okay.
I'm not giving up my pick for Coming to America. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. So this comes out Friday. Well, hey, that's 2 comedies this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Need a little lightness after Dark Waters there.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was good. It was very.
Look at you, Auburn.
You know, well, she's always saying I'm so dark. I know I'm black, okay? But, to me, with these dark movies,
You're just warped, is what you have a warped soul. And I figured it out from the fact that you said that the only thing you cared about the cows dying was that you had less meat.
Hey, listen, in Vermont, there's this place that has a retirement home for cows. And every time I would go up there, I'd be driving by and, just staring at them saying, okay, you be going soon. You're going to taste pretty good.
The old cow ain't good.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
that, unless you're making stew, you don't want no old heifer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's like, especially old heifers used to have a real strong, pungent smell. I remember back when I first started, we just cut meat back in the 80s, and you could tell when you'd have like some it wasn't just some, it was like, it's like a pungent.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell bad. It's just strong. And I mean, you'd open up the thing to cut it and you'd be like, wow. You'd be like, oh, it's too much.
Well, I'm sorry, Todd. I haven't cut my own cow yet.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I wanted to raise one.
Just so you
He's cut the cheese many a time. As we all have.
Yeah, he's good at it. So, all right. So those are our 2 movies for the week. We got Dogma and Coming to America. Thank you, Octavia, for writing that. It makes it easy for me to post it up here. So we have those are our 2 movies. Blue has somehow she's been able to pick the movie for next time. Still retain her.
We lost you that time.
What? Huh?
We lost you there.
What?
No, there you go. You can speak now.
You
were talking.
You were breaking up when you were talking.
Octavia, it's actually called, and it's actually, if you guys are looking up, it's Coming, and then the number 2, and then America.
Yep. So
if you guys are looking on Cody or whatever, Coming, the number 2, America.
So look forward to
You know
a
when
couple
comes
movies.
out Friday?
Yeah, Friday, Amazon Prime.
Perfect. And
Amazon.
Dogma, good. I'm looking forward to them.
Yep, and
I love
like
the original Coming to America. I just remember him in Arsenio Hall and all the different characters they played.
God.
Oh my god! And the family too that was using the Soul Glow. They're all sitting on the couch, and when they all get up, there's like big wet spots where all their heads were.
Jerry Curl Juice.
Jerry
Soul
Curl.
Glow.
So all right, so those are our movies. Look at there, we're only a little over an hour.
Yeah,
so
we
we
did
got
good.
that going, and so
Yeah,
we can
we
go.
did
Everybody
good.
can go ahead and go eat their dinners.
Yes.
So we got
thank
that.
you.
Want to say thanks to everyone that's on the panel. To Beach, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope. See y'all next week.
Awesome. We're getting that money out of your camera. Okay, Blue, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope. Have a good
All right.
one.
Have a good one. Roger, anything to say before we go?
Thanks for the invite. Always fun. I always look forward to Wednesday. Everybody have a great week.
Good. Eddie, anything you want to say before we go?
Everybody keep safe, and just let's hope that I can get my shot pretty soon, because the way it's going over here, we ain't getting nothing.
Wow.
We haven't even got a first shot yet. It's bad.
Wow.
All right.
Everybody keep safe.
Yeah.
Andrew?
4 more shows, and then it's the end of season 2.
Oh my god! I knew somebody was going to bring that up. It had to be you. Is that when we do the vote show? Is that when we figure out?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we doing the best and the worst of all 40 then, or of just
No,
this?
no, just the 20.
Just the season 2.
Just the season 2.
From
I'll
episode
make
20
another
up
list.
to
20 to 40.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it'd be 20, because wasn't episode 20 was a review show, so it'd be 21 through 39.
Right.
Well, I'll make the list then for all the movies, and then
then we'd ask like, what was the funniest one, the one you didn't expect to like, the one that didn't hold up. We asked, it's fun, and and I think Andrews can't wait because he knows he's redeemed himself season 2. And some other people have fallen.
44 season 2.
No.
Yeah. No, it was.
That's what I like. That's what I like about
1?
doing that. I forgot. I forgot what movies, what earlier picks. So it'd be like I already forgotten for this one the earlier picks. So it's good to go back and look through them again.
Yeah, Child 44 and the number 23 were both in season 1.
Okay.
Oh, lucky.
We've come a long way.
No need to mention it.
No, we've had some bad movies.
Yeah.
We've had some bad movies.
Yeah.
So so that's coming up.
We've come a long way. We've just watched Harry Potter with guns.
Wasn't Guns Akimbo was season 1, and this is season 2. There's a theme in here. So, all right, AUBYN, anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for everyone coming out. I'm so happy to see you. You guys make my Wednesday. This weekend, UFC, don't miss it. It's going to be good. And have a good one.
Thank you, AUBYN. First of all, thanks to everyone that watches the show every week. I don't want to say just the same people, but it's good that we have the same core of people that tune in every Wednesday. People that come on the show. I know that Sharon said that she had to take her daughter to the doctor today for an appointment. She wasn't sure if she was going to get home, and it's fun that people want to come on because they want to talk about movies, and it's great that we have a following. So it doesn't have to be a big following. It's a following, and we all enjoy it. We all have a good time. And it is fun on Wednesday to come together, talk about movies. You don't have to be a techie person. I want to say thanks to everyone that's on the panel, people that watch the show. Watch Friday. Friday will be Streaming Matters. We'll get into the tech stuff. Lots of stuff's happening in the last couple weeks, so we'll talk more about that tech stuff on Friday's show. And if you'd like to come on the show, as Eddie, Roger, AUBYN, DeBeach, you see these people never were on any kind of a live show until they joined this show. So it's not hard, and it's not too scary. So thanks for everyone. Watch the 2 movies, Dogma and Coming to America, and we'll see you guys Friday.